Welcome to Cervello's Win with Data studio in the heart of the Innovation District, overlooking the hub of the universe and home of the 2013 World Series champions, the Boston Red Sox. I am your host, Cara Scafati, and joining me here today is Chris Boulanger. Chris is a founder of Cervello and runs its EPM Practice. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you, Cara.
So let's get started. Chris, can you give us a quick definition of EPM?
In its clearest definition, EPM is a set of discipline and technology to help companies make the best decisions about how to utilize their resources. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all it is.
Okay, great. So it seems as if the enterprise software market is going through some fundamental changes. What are some of the important trends, and do you see them affecting EPM in 2014?
Sure. Let me take a step back and look at some of the macro trends. So we started, technology started back with mainframes that transitioned into the PC era, which then went into the internet era, and now we're seeing what's being defined in the industry as the post-PC era, where everything is basically on your mobile device, whether it's your smartphone or your tablet, and you carry around your information with you everywhere you go. That then translates into some real trends and buzzwords that you see in the industry. For example, at Oracle Open World, for the past 2 years, really, their focus has been on cloud, mobile, social, and big data. And so those are some of the trends that we see, and some of those are definitely going to have a major impact on EPM. All of them should eventually have an impact on enterprise performance management, but some of them more than others in 2014.
All right, that's interesting. So can you give us a little bit more information on what is happening with mobile?
Sure. So mobile, as I mentioned, we're in the post-PC era. Everybody has a smartphone or a tablet. My 8-year-old and 10-year-old, learned how to use an iPod when they were 5, and probably know how to type better than I do at this point. We use our smartphones for everything. We can buy movie tickets. We can figure out how to get from one place to another on a train. We can manage our bank accounts, but we haven't seen the translation of those applications in the enterprise as much, certainly not in enterprise performance management. So we do see reporting out of mobile devices, but we don't see a lot of other EPM type of technology and fast VPN like managing a workflow or inputting my forecast or my plan. I don't anticipate that that's going to change a lot in 2014, but it is something that our software partners have told us is on their roadmap, so I would look for that to happen in the years to come, but probably not a big change in 2014.
All right, so something to watch then.
Something to watch.
All right, and what about social networking? I can't seem to get enough of Facebook and Words with Friends.
Words with Friends is a great, addicting game, and it's probably the best use of social networking that there is right now. Again, in the enterprise, we don't see a lot of social networking happening. You do see it. We have clients that use Chatter, which is the social network that's embedded within Salesforce.com, and we see some clients use Yammer, which is the social network that's part of the Microsoft suite and is embedded in SharePoint and other things like that. And traditionally, it's very popular within like the sales management process and the selling process, but really, I can't think of another process other than that would benefit more from social networking than something like enterprise performance management. The ability to, say, manage a workflow or share assumptions and drivers with your peers in finance through something like a social network instead of sending it over email or other mechanisms that companies are using today, I think is great. But the software vendors haven't quite embedded that functionality into the suite, and again, it's probably not something that I see happening in 2014. But I think it's inevitable that that's the direction that the software organizations are going to go, because the next generation of users, that's the way they want to the way they want to interact with their data.
Right.
Exactly.
So there's all this talk about big data. Is there really a link to EPM, or is it just hype at this point?
I think it's largely hype at this point as far as EPM is concerned. Big data is a term that people are probably tired of even talking about, but there is a lot of data that's being generated, by mobile devices, by people, taking pictures everywhere they go and interacting with their data everywhere they go. And an example would be like Netflix uses real-time traffic information from every device across multiple markets so that they can optimize their real-time streaming video. That type of technology doesn't totally lend itself to enterprise performance management, budgeting, and forecasting. But there are some progressive organizations out there that will use information from a social network like Twitter and understand what kind of reception a new product is getting in the market based on feedback that they see on Twitter, and then they'll use that information to help increase the accuracy of their forecast, their revenue forecast going forward. But most organizations are probably not going to find a use for big data and EPM at this stage. But I think over time people will start to understand how that might help improve their budgeting and forecasting.
So cloud, that's another buzzword we hear a lot. Will this have an impact on the EPM market in 2014?
Yeah, so of the terms that Oracle throws around a lot, cloud, mobile, social, big data, I definitely think cloud has the most near-term impact on the EPM market. Oracle announced this year their cloud product, Oracle Planning and Budgeting Cloud Service, along with some other products that they're releasing in the cloud. It's a big push for them, and we were invited to participate in the preview program. And we were very impressed with the product and thought that there was features and functionality that were very much on par with their on-premise Hyperion Planning product. So we're excited about that. At Cervello, we've been helping companies do cloud-based enterprise performance management and BI since we were founded in 2009. So I'm guessing that next November, when we celebrate our 5th anniversary, that we're going to look back on our decision to be early adopters of the cloud as a driving force for not only our success but the success of our clients.
Right. Okay, so let's shift gears and talk about the organization. We've heard a lot about EPM Centers of Excellence. What are your thoughts about that?
So yeah, traditionally organizations, it's EPM started within finance to eliminate spreadsheets and manual processes, and so that's where people have really had their enterprise performance management team. But more recently, I think organizations have realized that EPM is cross-functional. You need to involve sales, operations, marketing, etc. And so what we've seen our clients doing is moving the EPM function outside of finance and treating it as a center of excellence. And with that, they can then combine infrastructure resources with business analysts and developers and program managers and deliver an enterprise performance management service to the entire organization as opposed to just finance.
So let's come back to technology to wrap up the questions. It seems that EPM tools have evolved significantly since they were initially introduced as a basic replacement for spreadsheets. What trends do you see in the market today?
Really, we see software companies expanding the out-of-the-box functionality of their tools. The reason they do that is to lower the implementation cost and be able to bring up the application faster. And so we see modules like workforce planning, CapEx planning, project planning, revenue planning from a functional perspective, and that will continue. So software companies that don't have those modules will enable those modules and add those modules. And the other thing that's not quite as prevalent right now but has more growth opportunity is industry vertical functionality. So the public sector planning, there's a financial services balance sheet planning, and that's where there's probably a lot of opportunity to grow to enable functional planning modules that allow companies to get up to speed even faster, out of the box, up and running on their enterprise performance management program.
So thank you, Chris, for joining me here today. I really appreciate your time. And for our audience, please be sure to visit the Cervello website and check out our Limit Data videos as well as our latest blogs. Thanks so much.